#2 guy in the country. So
winning with his 3rd win against Heller in his career. Next up's 174, Luca Augustine, Brayden Thompson. So you guys on the younger side of things, Luca Augustine, a guy you were teammates with last year.
Yep.
Have you seen him develop at all this year? I know you've been around the program a lot this year still. Have you seen him kind of take a couple more steps in his development so far in 2023?
Yeah, definitely. Luca's made huge jumps from last summer to this year. And it's been shown with his wrestling. He's all the way up to 15 in the rankings, off to a great record. And, he's one of those guys that you don't have to worry about classroom or in the mat. He's going to give it his all, and he's a real workhorse. And I'm excited to see, how he pans out this year. But obviously a tough guy in Thompson, too. This is a guy he wrestled 2 years ago at the junior trials. I was in Luca's corner, and I saw these two battle it out for a world team spot for freestyle. So somewhat familiar with each other. Yeah, 2 young guys. Hopefully we see keep wrestling in the future.
2 different styles, but still some things you can take away. What can you really take away from a freestyle as opposed to going to a folk style match?
Yeah, I think for the most part, a lot doesn't change. A lot of, especially the wrestling on your feet. I think it can hurt guys who are, make a living with the funking and the rolling around. But guys like Luca and Thompson, they're not on their back too much. They're not too much rolling around. It's pretty straight on and a lot of headbanging. So I think these guys make good transitions to freestyle. And above all else, I think it keeps you wrestling. It keeps you active in the summer and wrestling great guys all year round. And I think that's always a good thing.
Thompson, a guy who's won 4 consecutive matches against ranked opponents. Coming off a wild one down in Raleigh against Faison, where he won on ride time 3-2. Also picked up a major decision earlier this year against Oklahoma's number 17, Tate Picklow. Just over a minute to go here in the first period.
I think what both guys are kind of their keys to winning here is just obviously getting that first takedown out of the way. They're both sound defensively, hard to score on, very stingy. Similar to the last match, if a guy can score and get ahead, might be able to ride it out for the remainder of the match.
Not too many risks from either wrestler so far. Augustine lost back-to-back matches against Ohio State and Illinois earlier this season, but is undefeated otherwise.
There's a stalling call on Thompson. Do you agree with that one here in this first period?
Yeah, it's tough because both guys haven't shown too much initiative to get that first score, but Luca obviously, I think the more aggressor in the pace and the hand fight, keeping his butt to the center.
We talk about the changing nature of college sports, and part of that has been like this whole NIL thing, and this was your version of it. You had your own ice cream flavor.
Delicious.
What led you to the whole cannoli decision with that? What kind of experience that sort of choosing that in the whole process?
Yeah, I try to stick with the Italian theme, obviously the name, but I got great opportunities to work with some nice local businesses and everything, and get some delicious ice cream. I mean, not to be biased, but it's dang good. So it's really cool to get opportunities like that, and this area really loves wrestling, and it shows. So.
Yeah, you guys really seem to know how to do NIL. You got Cole Matthews with Permanis, and it's just, you seem to flock to the food-related companies.
I think it's, it has to deal with fighting that scale all the time. when we finally get the chance to splurge, we go food all the time.
I was going to say ice cream and then fries with sandwiches on it. I'm not sure that's...
not the typical wrestler diet.
Thompson gets the escape point. And a low-scoring bout so far against Luca Augustine.
Yeah, Luca really working for his ties. Obviously, Thompson being very stingy. Luca's a really strong wrestler. He's hard to deal with for 7 minutes. I'd look for Thompson to hit some slick stuff. He has a nice duck under, a nice slide by. Kind of works well with this style. You might think he's not coming right away with his offense, then he'll hit you with something real slick at that takedown. Pretty stingy on top, too, and I think both guys are maybe looking to score here at the end of the second.
And Luca faking a shot there. And now he's starting to get a little more aggressive, trying to move him side to side.
Luca real heavy in this front headlock and underhook position. This is the type of stuff that wears on his opponents and why he's a real hard guy to wrestle.
Both of these guys looking real strong defensively so far. The latter half of period number 2. Final 5 seconds here in the second period. Looks like Thompson will go into period number 3 up 1-0 still. 174. This Pitt staff bringing a lot of guys back in, including yourself, Jake Wenzel as well, Demetrius Thomas, all coming back in after their careers at Pitt and contributing on this coaching staff. It's nice to have those guys sort of around who sort of understand what it's like to be a Pitt wrestler and really try and build up the program from within.
For sure. I think it's definitely great, too, for the guys to know, obviously all 4 guys there had success. And to just know for the younger guys and recruits that you can win here and just, I'm living proof. So just to keep those guys around that have had success and that can just kind of, like you said, show them the ropes to Pitt is, I think it's huge, and I think it's a big plus for our program. And if we can keep as many guys as we can on staff, it's a good thing for us.
Not too many schools can say they got a couple national champions on the coaching staff.
Definitely a perk.
Yeah. 1-1. Augustine gets the escape point. And we're even here in the final 1:18 of 174.
Thompson still wrestling really tough, still in his stance. Looking like he's picking up the pace a little bit as this third period's going on. Decent little shot by him.
The hard part is getting Luca out of position, right? Which I think is one of the more challenging things for a lot of guys when they face Luca.
Definitely. I think it's something that you don't really get until you're wrestling with them. You're like, dang, this guy's, he's a stud. He's hard to move. And like I said, I just think that, along with his pace, it can be hard to deal with. But Thompson doing a real good job staying in the pocket there and fighting. Obviously, that stall call's in both of their heads. Thompson not wanting to give that up, and Luca maybe working for that point.
It's an overused word nowadays, but this has been a really gritty match from both of these guys. Standing strong defensively, not giving an inch here in the final 18.
Some of the slickness coming from Thompson. And that's honestly what's making this match great. Like, the offense and the shots might not be as prevalent as you want, but you can't help but be entertained with, like, just guys just headbanging and hand fighting in their heart. It's interesting to see each other's strategy going into overtime.
So we'll head to overtime.
You didn't see a lot of attempts really on the legs, right? You had some fakes, you had some movement. Do you expect it to be the win coming from somebody taking that shot?
Yeah, I think it's going to come from someone making a bad mistake. I think these guys are very good at staying in position, but I think it's going to come from someone maybe attempting something that's not there, or maybe making a sound mistake. These guys both can capitalize off good opportunities like that, but they haven't found one in each other yet.
And sudden victory, ride time, not a thing at all. Neither wrestler has any kind of statistic in that department. As stay even at 1, and now Thompson goes low on Augustine.
That's the first real big deep shot we've seen.
This might be a chance for either guy to score. There's some of that slickness coming out I was talking about.
What have you liked out of these wrestlers so far? Obviously not the most flashy match in the world, but still both holding their own.
Yeah, I just love the dedication and just, being stingy, honestly. There's a big shot by Luca. Best shot of the match. See, this is where you can't let stop those feet. You got to keep moving here. This might be your best opportunity to score.
He really lost his position.
Now it looks like Thompson's coming out on top.
Closest match we've had so far tonight, 30 seconds ago in sudden victory.
Thompson looking to cut across there, barely having that ankle. Watch Thompson try to pull him in a little bit, get some space. Luca's got to stay heavy on that whizzer.
Thompson grappled onto that right leg of Augustine.
Great little scramble there in overtime. To answer your question, I just think just the stinginess and just the fact that these guys are, you know, willing to be in there for 9 minutes now. So I had a feeling it might go to some tiebreakers. Huh?
First one we've seen so far tonight, and it's really been evenly matched throughout this entire match so far.
Yeah, and you didn't see too much of advantage either way, top and bottom for either guy. Both guys escaped pretty quickly. Curious to see if either one of these guys commits to a hard ride.
Augustine will start on top here in this 30-second sudden victory period.
Now, moments like this, these tiebreakers, every second is crucial. Huge mat return by Luca. For him to do another hard return.
Augustine maybe getting a little bit of momentum here in sudden victory.
Looks like that hard mat return might have took a little wind out of Thompson. Luca with a huge ride here in tiebreakers. So I'm saying Luca's real strong, huge power there.
Especially when you kind of land towards his head, too. It definitely takes a bit out of you.
For sure. Curious to see if Thompson... Big escape for Luca. I was wondering if Thompson was going to try to ride for that 30, but he's going to need a takedown if he wants to win this match.
3 escape points, the only scoring so far at 174. Augustine 13 seconds away.
Still some flair from Thompson, but Luca, like he's had the whole match, just real stingy, strong, hard to get in on. He's going to come away with this one.
And Augustine will hang on. Pitt gets its first victory of the night at 174. It's Luca Augustine with the decision.
Great match from both guys.
A 2-1 victory, and we got some noise here at the Fitz for the first time tonight. Luca Augustine with a 2-1 win.